there are two cortex. They're not like number 7. They're both like number 8, where you're going to have to substitute. So there are 2 cubes that are something like perfect cubes. There are 2 cortex, and then there are 2 factoring by grouping, which is what we decided we would push off until today, which is no big deal and we will get through quickly. When I get done going over the math workshops and these 3 problems, your goal today is not to hand Miss Compton a bunch of random late stuff that, no offense, she really doesn't want to see. She already graded a lot of things, and your stuff's late. But what I do want to see by the end of the class period, and I genuinely mean I need to see by the end of the class period, is have you tried some of these problems? Now, I'm not going to tell Mason he has to get through number 7, because then once he hits number 7, he'll stop. So I'm just going to say, by the end of the class period, Mason and every other person, insert your name here, have you shown Miss Compton you've done some work on this page? Now, I would expect at least 3 problems done, but have you shown Miss Compton you've done some work on this page? Because there were 2 who just left last period. Guess what? They didn't show me. Guess what? I'm about to type in a 0 for him. I'm not changing that 0. Get it together. Have you shown Miss Compton by the end of the class period how far I've gotten on this page? Now, why does she want to see this page? Because I need to know you practiced, 1. 2, I'm posting the answers later. So if Abby Grace hasn't tried these, why do I think she's going to? She'll just copy mine. 3, it's a grade due tomorrow. And then, of course, the obvious answer of she has a test tomorrow. And there are 2, like 1 through 6, 2, like 7 through 12, and 2, like 13 through 18. And she likes to make a good test grade, so she's going to practice. Okay. Our 2 math workshops are both division problems. The reason we're coming back to that is because we need it on Friday. On Friday, we start a new topic called the remainder theorem. It involves synthetic division, so we need to practice synthetic today. Or long. We can do either one, actually. On number 5, should we use synthetic or long? Let's use synthetic, because why? Yes, I'm listening for that leading coefficient. I heard it from 2, and I think I heard it from 4 as well. So if it was you 4 as well, get a point. Okay, so I'm going to put a -5 in the house. I've got a 2, a 13, and a 15. Before I go any further, what if there wasn't a 13t? You put in a 0 for yet another point. I'm going to bring straight down my 2. 2 times -5 is -10. 13 minus 10 is 3. 3 times -5 is -15. Oh, goodness, I got a 0 on the end. What does that mean? Yep, that our remainder is 0, so we're not going to have a fraction thing. So what is my final answer then? Thank you. Every group can have a point. On number 6, I'm not going to do synthetic division, but let's talk about how I would set it up if I did use synthetic. I would put something in the house, and a 6, a 1, and a -2. What would that fraction be? Yeah, it'd be 1/2, and you can have your point. So I could use synthetic, but I don't like to. I would rather, when there's a 2 in front, I would rather just go ahead and man up and do long. Okay, if I'm going to do long division, 2y minus 1 divided into, thank you, you can have your point, 6y squared plus y minus 2. I'm going to multiply by 3y in order to get to 6y squared. -1 times 3 is -3y. Right now, these wouldn't cancel out. We've got to change everybody's sign. Those die. Y minus a -3y ends up being how many y? Y minus -3y. That's not correct. Yes, because it's y minus -3, so it's y plus 3, which is just 4y. 4, you get your point. Now, I need the 2y to be a 4y, which is why Travis told me 2. 2y times 2 is 4y. -1 times 2 is -2. I change everybody's sign so people will cancel out. 4y minus 4y does die. But -2 minus -2 also dies as well. So again, we have a remainder of 0. Is it common for us to have 2 problems in a row with a remainder of 0? No. It's a strange thing. Are there any questions about this? If you blew it on the test, let's see how you blew it. Some people blew synthetic because they forgot to bring down the first thing, or they forgot the 0 placeholders, etc. Make sure you've got synthetic down, because I'm telling you it's coming back up on Friday. So it made the first test we just took. It's not making tomorrow's test, but the test after that, synthetic's back. Coming back with vengeance. Okay, so we had 3 problems we did not finish yesterday. We decided we would handle those today. And they're actually the easiest 3. I think summing difference of cubes requires a little memorization, not gonna lie. I think the cortex involves substitution, and that can be a little confusing. But these 3 are the easiest because we're already good at grouping. How many terms do you see on number 9? 2 to get a point. That's why we're going to use grouping. What can I pull out of the first group? Okay, if I turn my camera, if I pull out an x squared, I'm left with an x plus 3. What can I pull out of the second group? And I'm still left with an x plus 3. Brady, get your point. Okay, so that means my 2 terms are okay. Every single person in the room, besides just Abby Grace and Brady, should be good till here. We've done at least 20 factoring problems in our math workshops. That's no joke. You should have it down till here. This is the last part, which, again, you have to do tomorrow. But I get it's a little tricky. What's the easy answer? Yes, we've got the real answer of -3, and that one was super easy to get to. The other one is where life gets a little more complicated. And why does it get a little more complicated? Because why, dear? Yes, we can't factor it. So we're going to do x squared plus 4 equal to 0. And then something goes wrong when I subtract. No, dear. Yes. We went over some with imaginaries yesterday, remember? There's a negative. I'm going to take the square root. So I've got to involve I. Bless you. So I've got x equals plus or minus square root of 4i. But hey, I know the square root of 4 is 2. Hence why Abby Grace went straight to plus or minus 2i. Because she realized that. So when we moved the 4 over, it was a negative. When we took the square root, that's why we had to use I. And so we have some imaginary answers. Are there any questions about number 9? Okay, well then let's go ahead and handle number 10. If I put my groups, what can I factor out of my first group? If I factor out an x squared, I'm left with a -1, okay. And then what should I factor out of the next group? Yes, -3, yes. And then I'd be left with a 2x minus 1. So I've got x squared minus 3, 2x minus 1 equal to 0. What is my easy answer from here? And 3 gets the point. Yes, x equals 1/2. Now, if you need to show your work and do 2x minus 1 equals 0, 2x equals 1, x equals 1/2, no one's going to count off for that. I just normally do it in my head, and that's what Brady and Landon are doing. So if you want to do it in your head, you can. If you need to show the work for each of these, that's fine. Okay, the x squared minus 3. I set it equal to 0. I add 3, so I get x squared equals 3. What is my final answer on this one? Yes, but be more specific. Yes, that's what she meant all along. When we added 3 to both sides, we did not have a negative over here. On this problem, we had a negative. We subtracted 4, we had a negative 4. On this problem, we added 3, we had a positive 3. So we don't need I because we're not taking the square root of a negative number. We're taking the square root of a positive number.
So you only need the I when it's a negative.
You only need the I when it's a negative. You don't need the I on number 2. So technically, plus or minus square root of 3 are real numbers. All these answers are real. Plus or minus square root of 3 is like really close to 2, but not quite there. So they're all real answers. Okay, I'm out of room on my paper, so I'm going to have to do the last one on a Post-it. Why is number 11 the hardest? It's not set equal to 0. I like the way Drea said it first. She didn't say it first. I like the way she said it best. We'll give her the point. We need to go ahead and move that 9 over. So it was x to the third plus x squared minus 9x. And I'm going to go ahead and make it minus 9 equals 0. We've got to set it equal to 0 first before we do any of this mess. There are 4 terms, again with the parentheses. What can I pull out of the first group? I pull out an x squared, I'm left with an... Okay, and then what should I pull out of the second group? Negative 9, and I'm left with an x plus 1. Travis, you can have a point. And then, so I have x squared minus 9 and x plus 1 equal to 0. Any thoughts from here? Say it again, Travis. Yeah. And the other one is? Yeah. Brady, you can have your point. Okay, so from here, first period I had a blonde moment, so I thought it was going to be the easy one of x equals negative 1. And then I tried to make this one too hard. I did x squared minus 9 equals 0, x squared equals 9, x equals plus or minus 3, because when I took the square root, I got plus or minus 3. And that is correct. There's nothing wrong with my work, but I've made life too complicated. I could have fixed it all back here and not have to show any of this mess. Why? Anyone know? I made it too hard. I could have known the answer right here. Yes. Who said that? No, but the person who said, yeah, that was you. Say it again. No, it's because the difference of squares. It's the difference of squares. Jessica gets her point for whispering quietly, but yeah, her point nonetheless. On this line, we could have rewritten it as x plus 3, x minus 3, x plus 1, equal to 0, and then you and I automatically know negative 3, 3, negative 1. Why did we not think to factor this into this is beyond me. I didn't either. I should have, but I didn't, so I made my life more complicated. Oh well, it happens. Okay, so flip to the next page. Which problems are factoring by grouping on the next page? 13 through 18. You have to admit the grouping ones are the easiest, right? That's where I would start. I'd go ahead and get the easy ones out the way. I'd start at 13. Okay, you have until the end of the period to show me what you end on.